Hello and welcome back to Alps Panorama at the Northern Sea. And so I just barely let time run a little bit so that we could get some things to do, and we need to weed our fields. So I think we'll start with this field, or spray them with herbicide, because it is further along than this one. So that's what we will start off doing. We need to go over here and grab our little Fendt. It's so empty over there. Right there. We need to put something there. Alright, we gotta move our fertilizer spreader. We'll just move it over here. Set it down there. And then go grab our herbicide sprayer. Hopefully it's got stuff in it. It does. We should be good with what we got. And we will head over to our big field. Well, it's all, oh no. Well, there go the eggs. That was nice. It's like my steering sensitivity has changed. It's weird. Oh well. I'll tinker with it later. But we will start doing this. Get this taken care of. Why am I going so slow? I swear 7 miles an hour seems rather slow for this. I wonder... I believe on the PC we had an update. I don't know, just like a small update, maybe a hotfix or something. And it changed my textures. I wonder if it adjusted my graphic settings. I'll have to look at that too. Everything just seems a bit off. I'm not seeing the lines in the dirt very clearly. I don't know. It's just a bit weird. It's probably me. Probably has nothing to do with the game. Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking. Everything looks a little different. I don't know if it is me or if it is the game. But it's kind of weird. It's kind of irritating me a little bit, not gonna lie. I thought that this field was further along than this. I thought it actually had some stuff growing in it, but apparently not. But I'd like to get this done before nightfall. The weeding, or I always call it weeding. It is weeding in a sense. I mean, we are getting rid of the weeds, but what I mean by that is the spraying of the herbicide. I usually, as I probably stated before, whoa, wow, okay, that happened rather quickly. Now I can't see where we're going. Kinda wish it could have waited a minute longer, but it is what it is. But what I was saying is I usually do use the weeder that you just drag through the ground, or through on top. That seems to work really good, except for once I got to this map, it gave me a lot of difficulties and just was a pain. So we switched over to the herbicide, and it does pretty good. I think it's a lot easier, that's for sure. Go on, birds. Man, I can barely see where the weeds are. Kinda difficult. But yeah, when I zoom out like this, the graphics just look very subpar. Not understanding it. Definitely gonna have to look at that. I don't know why my graphics settings would change. But anyway, let's just move past that. How is everyone doing? How has everyone been? Like I said in my last episode that I did real quick, I've been away fishing, just doing a whole bunch of fishing lately, because it's now time to fish, and I love fishing. But yeah, I haven't caught anything. I've just been fishing at a pond that has stocked trout in it right now. There's just a pond that's not too far away from where I live, and it's man-made, just a little man-made pond, and it's been around since I was a kid, though. I mean, it was new when I was a kid, but now it's had time to establish itself, because I'm not a kid anymore. And they stock a lot of things in it every year, but they always start out with just trout. And they put about 900 to 1,000 trout, rainbow trout, in it every, I'd say about 2 weeks. And so you'd think that you'd be able to catch a fish, right? I mean, that's a lot of fish. But I believe that it gets overfished. I believe that there's a whole bunch of people that go there and fish all the time. I mean, I go during the day and like the middle of the day when a lot of other people are at work, and so I tend to not see a whole bunch of people fishing there. And every time I've been there so far, and last year included, nobody's caught anything, so I really don't know where the fish go. I've been trying a whole bunch of different stuff, trying to figure out what they want. Just like floating worms and Carolina rigs and, you know, all that fun stuff. Power bait, power eggs, different stuff like that. But no success. But what is that saying? A bad day fishing is better than a good day at work, or whatever it is. Something like that. But that's what I've been doing, and that's why I haven't been doing this. So I apologize for that. I even went fishing yesterday after I made the video. Well, posted the video at night, and that's because I have to edit it and render it, and then it has to upload to YouTube, which sometimes, even though I have fast internet, can just take forever. I don't know if it's my file format that I'm uploading with, or what it is, but it just takes a long time. I actually think it's because of, I guess, what they call a bit rate. And I uploaded a high bit rate so that YouTube has a whole bunch of data to go through. Because it just seems like I upload pretty big files. I mean, I could change the bit rate and that would make the files smaller, which would make me be able to upload them quicker, the videos quicker. But I don't know how the quality would be. When I first started, which are videos you guys probably haven't ever seen, it's like the very first videos on my channel, they're called tests, and that's when I was figuring it all out. It was at the very beginning of this year, 2019, and I was actually using a different recording software, and I was using NVIDIA Shadowplay. It just comes with your standard with your NVIDIA card, and it worked good, but sometimes if the frame rates dropped at all, like just any little bit at all, like from 50 or from 60 down to like 55, what would happen when I would go to render it using the editing program that I use, because it likes to have a standard straight frame rate, it has to be perfect all the time. It can't go up, it can't fluctuate up or down very much, otherwise it messes things up. And so when the frame rates would drop a little bit, my voice would start lagging, and then when I would, if it would speed up, it would almost like make me sound like one of the chipmunks, and it would like fast forward my voice. It was pretty awkward, so I had to switch. But anyway, back to what I was getting at, is the hold on, I have to think. I had a brain fart. I started thinking about the game. But the the bit rate was a bit lower, and I tried messing with it through my editing software, and I believe the quality of the video wasn't as good as I would like. But from what I've been researching is some people's internet that they have at home doesn't like to play at the 1080p, just the standard HD, or not standard, but the 1080p HD at 60 frames per second, which is what I like to render my videos at because it makes them come out really clear. But from what I gathered, some people's internet has a problem with that, or it just takes up too much of their bandwidth when they have a limited bandwidth, and so they prefer the 30 frames per second. So I might do a few tests. You might see a few tests come up on my channel, and I'm not going to do it on any series because I don't want to mess up anybody's, I don't know, watching experience on the series, if there's anybody out there that's, you know, watching it regularly, and I don't want that to interfere. But you might see a few test videos pop up that will say test clearly on it, and just see if the quality has, you know, if it impacts quality, or if it still looks, you know, halfway decent. But if you do see those videos come up and you do happen to watch them, let me know in a comment, if you would, if it is affecting your viewing pleasure, or if it looks too crappy and you want me just to avoid that altogether. Because the whole reason I do this is for, you know, people to watch if they want to. Do it for myself too, not just others, but yeah, I enjoy doing it. Now, hold on. You got a bit sidetracked. Nope, no, I don't want to stop that. I still need to do this. I said hold on and went to hold on myself. But on this field, if you look down where I have these things planted, you can clearly, I mean, I'm sure this should show up, the lines on the field from when you actually plant stuff are there. But when we were over at our big field over there, they weren't showing up. It was just like smooth dirt. Huh. It's a bit confusing. Yeah, Ozzy, it's confusing. Oh, and in the last episode, I talked about the hired worker mod thing, and it's called contractor mod. And I looked into it, and what it is so instead of tabbing, when you push tab and going to a different vehicle, what it will do is it will tab to a different hired worker. So for those of you out there that don't like the tabbing feature like this, where you just kind of magically teleport to another vehicle, it will teleport you from your main character, whoever your character is, to what they call a contractor, like a contractor in real life, and that you're contracting out, and you will be able to move and control that player or that contractor, or, you know, just a CGI guy, and move them over into like a vehicle. So say we wanted somebody to weed or spray our farm like we just did, spray our field over there. You would tab into another person's body, let's say the person's name is Alex, and you would be put into Alex, and then you would drive over to there and start working. And then when the worker was done, when Alex was done, they would stay in the vehicle, and you could tab back over to Alex and then drive Alex back to the farm. But then, if I am getting this correctly, you could leave Alex like here, and Alex would just be chilling here until you needed Alex again. But I believe it takes away, I haven't tried it, this is just from what I've been reading and looking up, then Alex you wouldn't be able to, it would take away your feature to tab to vehicles, I believe. Don't quote me on this, I could be totally wrong, but I believe that's what it is. So it's a bit interesting, I would say. Alright, so one thing I was thinking of is, since our farm is expanding and getting bigger, it might be worth it for us to look into a bigger grain trailer. But at the same time, the only reason I would want a bigger grain trailer is for when we are hauling from here to the sell point. So let's go and look how much. This is our trailer, and it can hold 21,000 liters. The next step up is the Joskin. It can hold 10,000 more liters, and it's $10,000 more than the trailer we currently have. I believe the Joskin would be everything we would need, but we would have to sell this trailer. So let's do this. Let's hop in our Valtra, and let's take this is just because there's nothing to do for the night. We're just figuring out something else to do while it gets dark. And because I was thinking about this while I was away, not playing. I was thinking it would be a good idea to upgrade our trailer, seeing as how our farm is getting bigger. So let's take this over to the shop, see how much we can get for it, and if we can get a pretty decent amount, then we'll look and we'll get that Joskin, and that should hold us over for quite a while. It's a pretty decent sized trailer. I had one for a while, for just a short little while, on my Michigan Farm series, so I have had experience with it, and it is just a solid axle or solid hookup thing. It doesn't have the dolly trailer thing, the wheels in the front that turn, so I can actually maneuver it. That's always nice. But let's park this here, and let's go see exactly how much we can get for it. So, no, I almost sold our tractor. Let's pull our tractor clear away. For some reason it was still in that hitbox thing. Okay, so we can get 21. If we repair it for 44 bucks, no, it wasn't really worth it. So 21,000. Let's do it. Let's sell this. And let's get the Joskin. Trelleborg's Michelin. We'll just stick with Trelleborg because it matches our tractors on our trailers. Our come on, Freki words. It matches the tires on our tractors. So let's get this. That puts us down at $99,860. So we're right under 100 grand. But I do believe that this will help us here soon when it comes time to harvest everything. And you know how I normally do. I normally put the stuff in the silo, and then once everything's harvested and I have a good amount in the silo, I will load it all up into a trailer and take it as a full trailer. And this should give us an advantage in the fact that we can take a lot more in one trip. So it will save us from having to trek back and forth to our farm and to a sell point over and over and over. So that will be nice. It's a little bigger, longer than our last one, so it's going to take me a second to get used to driving with it. But it should still be able to fit right up here, no problems, hopefully. We'll just leave the Valtra there. Turn off the lights though so we don't kill the battery. And I believe that's, you know what, before we go to bed, let's take care of those eggs that I decided to launch all over the place here. I don't know which ones are full and which ones aren't, but let's just load them up quickly. There we go. Undo the strap, put it back on. And now, here, instead of explaining it, I'll just show you. Let's grab another box, this one over here that's jammed in the corner, and run back over here. And then you can just start stacking these right on if you can jump up on the trailer without dropping boxes, you know, and just drop it here. But then you have to try to get it aligned. Well, you don't have to, but Freki has to. And then strap it again, and now you have a little jig, like a woodworker's jig. And you can just plop them down right on top of each other, and they're all perfectly lined up, just like they should be. Sometimes you have to drop them and then re-drop them, or drop them, pick them up, and re-drop them. And you don't have to necessarily put that strap on over and over. I just do it because it's a habit. And I know this one's one of these boxes probably barely has any eggs in it, so it's not really worth it. But I just want to clean them up to get them out of the way, and then we'll leave them be from now on until they fill up. But another thing I was looking at while I was waiting for time to pass before I started recording is look at all these chickens. I know it's not a ton. Most people have a lot more, but we only started with, I want to say 20 chickens. And so in the time we've been playing, we have got 12 new chickens. Pretty cool. And our cows, how many more cows did we've got one new cow. And we've got, I thought I bought 10 sheep. Huh. Well, we got 9. Wool? We have wool? Hold on. One sec before we go to bed. Do we really have wool out there? We do. I see it in the distance out there. Here, I'll get closer just to make sure you guys can see it. But look at that. We got wool. Our first thing of wool. Very nice. Alright. So, anyway, let's head back to the house and get some quick sleep in, and then when we wake up, we'll see what else we can do. Hopefully, one of these fields will be ready to harvest, so we can start getting some more money. Alright, so we're going to want to sleep for, let's sleep for 12 hours. Get a good night's sleep. We made $3,850. I wonder if that's from our greenhouse. That's what I'd imagine. Oh, looks like these fields are not ready to harvest yet. They don't have weeds or anything, none of them, right? I believe we took care of all that. And that's our grass field. It doesn't have its second stage of fertilizer. No big deal. Another thing I've still been looking at is what field to buy. I think it's this one is the one we should buy next, and then we can extend, like I said in that last episode, we can extend this down to here like that and make one really long field. Oh, wow. That was intense. They just turned. Alright, so since that just happened, we can start a harvest. Let's move this guy down here, just out of the way. And let's grab our harvester. And I'm going to start with the medium field over there, because like I said in one of the previous episodes, I want to actually do a little test, or just a little inspecting thing, and see if our medium field over here produces more yield than our new field that we just planted over there. And the best way to do that would be just to see how much grain we actually get from it, and compare it with our new field once we harvest it. Like the actual amount of liters we get. So let's go and harvest this real quick. Hopefully I'm on the edge, not missing any. Good. Very nice. Is this field gonna need lime? Nope. Nothing. Very good. And we will get to use our new little trailer. Or not little. It's actually a pretty big trailer now compared to our last one. But we're going to test that out as well. I am extremely happy that we got this Massey Ferguson harvester when we did. If we were still pushing that little yellow New Holland doing all this, I mean, yeah, it would get the job done, but it would be like twice as much work. So I think that this was a very good investment to make at the start when we did. Our new field out there in the distance looks great. Look at all that canola, yellow canola flowers. Even though we've only purchased the one field out there, I feel like there has been some progress. I don't feel like we just play in the same stuff we started with, like we have been for the, what is this, the 52nd episode? And for the first, I don't know, 48 episodes, we were just all on the stock, or the stuff that was included when we first started. I mean, yeah, of course we had new machinery, and we were getting animals and doing all that stuff, so it's not like we were just doing the same thing over, well, yeah, pretty much. We were doing the same thing over and over. We still kind of are. But at least it feels like we're progressing. To me, anyway. If I could get a straight line going, that would be awesome. See my wavy, wonky line over there? Look at that. Super wonky. Just harvesting away. Eventually, I really want to try doing some corn around here. Some corn and sunflowers. So we're going to have to look into getting a better, or what is it called, a planter? Not a seeder, because the seeder is what we have, and we currently use to plant the seeds of the soybeans and that stuff. But I would really like to get a planter and the header required for that. Just to mix things up, give our soil a break from doing the same things over and over. Cotton's okay. I mean, you do make some pretty decent money from it, but you have to lease or buy the cotton harvester, and so that takes quite a bit away. Same with the potatoes and stuff. Same rules apply. Is usually you don't have enough money to purchase the harvester, and so you end up leasing it, and so it takes a good chunk away from what the income that you could make. So that's why I think we will do corn or sunflower, because we can just purchase the header, use the same harvester we already have, but we do have to purchase either way. Even if it was potatoes or whatever, you still have to buy a different planter for it, so it's the smallest cost. It'll be really interesting to see which field is bigger. there's probably a way that you guys know of to actually tell before you even do this stuff. I'm probably doing a really roundabout way of testing how big the square foot area of a field is, but it's the only way I know of, and it seems rather foolproof. I'm hoping that our new field produces more than this one, just because it's our new one and we made it. This one was included with the map when we came here. It's not a bad sized field. I like the size of field number 1 out there in the distance, but its shape is just awful. To me, anyway. I just can't wrap my head around it. And then another thing here, this is what Farmer Tom R pointed out, is if you buy field 1, look at the price down there. It's $286,620 for that piece of land. But that's because this is included. All the way over here, that piece of land is included. And I personally haven't went out there and checked it out, but Farmer Tom R says that it's super hilly, like steep hills. And so, and I believe him, because I've drove around the map, and a lot of the hill areas that are surrounding us are too steep to do anything on. Like, you couldn't, there's no way you could get a mower up there. I mean, maybe if you had a huge, super powerful tractor, but at the same time, why? So you really, in this map, you really have to go investigate the land you're going to buy before you buy it, because you don't want to run into buying a huge steep hill that you won't be able to actually turn into any arable farm, or arable field, I guess I should say. Well, since we're 99% full, before we start the next strip here, we're just going to line it up with where we want to start, and we'll put out our auger pipe. We will magically teleport over to the Valtra, get the Joskin, and do our first load. Its very first time being used, as we run over a little mountain. It's gonna fit under there, right? Oh yeah. Let's get a screenshot of this. It's marvelous. Alright, we'll turn off the Valtra. It can stay there for now. We'll hop back in here. And we'll get ready to start harvesting once it's been emptied. Another thing that I've noticed that you guys probably already know is the it seems like the thicker your pipe is, like this pipe that comes out, if it's thicker, has a wider diameter, then it tends to unload the grain that you have in your harvester faster than the ones with a smaller auger and pipe. Which, yeah, go figure, Freki. It can transfer more through it at once. But the fact that they put it in the game and didn't just have everything empty at the same speed is pretty cool. A neat addition. It's yet another reason why you would want to upgrade to a bigger, better harvester, for the fact that your pipe is thicker. But hold on. I'm gonna have to show you guys something. there is, when I was doing my other series on Michigan farms, I had this harvester, this case axial flow, and it's great. It has a huge header, but it can only hold 14,400. Then you move over to this one, it can hold 17,100. So when it came time and I had enough money, I bought one of these black ones, the Agco ones. And if you take a look how thick this pipe is. See how thick it is? So yeah, like I said, it empties a lot quicker in comparison with this one. This one's a bit thinner. But if you see that extension, see the extension there, and how it on the end, right, if you look at my mouse right here in this area, that extension makes it taller than this one right here. So when the pipe is extended out to the side, like over like this bit is lower than on the case, and that's not a problem unless you're running what I was running, which was I had a semi, or a diesel trailer or truck, and I purchased this trailer right here. With the red case, it could clear the trailer no problem. Like the clearance, the height, the auger pipe would come up here, no problem. But with that black one, the most expensive harvester in the game, it kept hitting. Like, it would only come up to about right here, and it would hit and cause all sorts of problems. So that's another weird thing you have to kind of keep in mind, is how tall your pipe actually is. You don't want to run into problems with that, because I have to admit I was a bit frustrated. It really discouraged me from purchasing it again. And another reason I didn't like it is because you would think that with it being the most expensive, let's see, just take another look real quick. Sorry, I know I'm getting distracted, but it's a good, what, $45,000 more? It can hold a little bit more. I mean, not just a little bit more, but a pretty decent amount more, 3,000 more than the case. But the downside of that is this. I don't know if I've covered this before, but look. So the case is this one. This is the one that's for the case. It is 13.7 meters, and it has a built-in header trailer. Yes, you can put this case or this New Holland header on the black harvester. I'm aware of that, so it makes up for it. But then there's these ones. They're only 12 meters, and they have no header trailer. So you have to buy the header trailer, and they're shorter. So for a harvester that holds more and costs more, you would, at least I would imagine, that it would have benefits such as at least the same size header with a header trailer. But I have to admit that when I figured out that you could put the case header, the red header, on the black harvester, it was very nice. It was much improved. I didn't have to have the header trailer, and I could gather more, had a wider working width, but I still had the same problem of the pipe coming out. So if I am getting a new harvester, a big one like that, eventually on this farm, the ones that have my money is either the New Holland or the case. Preferably the case, because I like red better than yellow, but that's just a color preference. It's not like I have any preference on brand. I have absolutely no idea which brand is good and which one isn't. I'm pretty sure they're similar in real life. But there's my little rant. I don't know if you found it interesting. Sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there. Got super distracted. But hey, I thought it was worth noting. It was a discovery I made when I was still rather new to the game. I still am. It's not like I'm a pro yet. But I was a lot newer but I bit off a lot more than I could chew on that Michigan Farm series. The fields were huge, man. I made so much money, and it made it come into this map kind of awkward because I was so used to getting so much money and making just a ton of money. I was able to just buy what there was quite a few times that I was over $1 million, and so I just could buy practically anything I could even want. How full is this Joskin getting? It's only 30% right now. Well, 33. So this whole entire field, I'm gonna write this down. One sec, had to grab a piece of paper. So, medium field, canola gave us 11,750. Now, when it comes time to harvest our new field that we've made, I will compare those figures, and we will be able to finally tell, or actually tell, which one is bigger. Although, I do realize that I did miss a bit of weeds, and like the strip here, and this little bit, so it might take away ever so slightly from the actual amount that we have made or harvested. But I'm hoping it's not too drastic. I was going to say let's just hire a worker and we'll go start our fertilizer up there on our medium field. But, as we know by now, on this field, the shape of it, no workers can do it. They make it difficult. So we'll just knock this out real quick before we end the episode, and then we will continue getting this field ready, these two fields ready in the next one. Our new field looks pretty good out there. I know I've said it before, but look at the dirt that I put down. Hold on, I'm going to stop. See the dirt that I put down? Oh, I don't have a mouse. But you can see that super shiny. It looks white. That's kind of weird. Instead of looking like dirt, it looks like water reflecting the sky, or just a patch of white. It's actually just like a light brown sand is what it looked like, but not from here. Oh, there we go. Now it looks like light brown sand. Maybe I was just hallucinating. I missed a little bit. I was distracted. Huh. I don't know. Ignore it. I'm just going to keep staring at it and get distracted yet again. So our bee house is cool. I like it, but it is, I'm gonna have to say it's rather pointless. We're not making money. Anything worthy, like, you know, it would take us a long time to make what we paid for it from its honey. But it does look cool. So that's there. That's a plus, right? It adds some character to our farm. Because it does look awesome. And I think that money we made when we were sleeping and overnight, like when it hit midnight, I believe that was from our greenhouses and a little bit from the honey as well. So that's pretty good. I mean, to make money while we're sleeping, you can't complain about that. I'm not sure if the greenhouses are like the bee house to where you make money every hour from them. I have no idea how that works. But I do know that the bee house, if you watch every time my time ticks over on the hour, it will give me a little bit of money. It's not a lot. It's just like a few $100, but everything helps. It all adds up. It's like pennies. Eventually, we will be making money. Pretty good money. Especially once we sell our horses. Once we sell our horses, we'll be able to buy something pretty nice, or some big fields, or something like that. It's gonna be a big payday. So this field is giving us, I'm going to say, around 65% of a full harvester of canola. I almost think that it would be best to turn this into just like a field to keep getting supplies for the animals. Like plant oats in it or wheat in it, just so I have a big bulk supply of that kind of stuff. But we'll have to see, because it doesn't seem like it's gonna be, I mean, it does add up, like I just said, everything adds up, but it doesn't seem like it's the most profitable of our fields. With it being so small. But it is good for when we need to make some straw or get some feed for the animals. Like I said, either be wheat, barley, or oats. And I imagine if we were going to do pigs, then this field would have been great for like potatoes, because then the potato harvest wouldn't take forever, but I'm pretty sure you would still get a pretty decent yield. Not enough to sell and make good money from by any means, but enough for your pigs to get a good decent amount of potatoes to make them happy. I was wrong. It looks like we're gonna get, I don't know, closer to 75% than the 65%. Of a full harvester from this field. And there we go. So let's go drop off this header. Wrong way, Freki. You can't put it on like that. Are we on? I think we're on. Oh, that's good. Actually, let's do this. Let's just hook up to this. And then we will magically teleport over to our Valtra. And we'll go grab that canola out of the harvester real quick. And we'll throw it all in a silo. And wait for these two fields to get harvested. So we have a big amount. Get some better money, at least per delivery. Trying to get it all level. all the canola back there. It's not going so well. There we go. So that's not bad. We would have had practically almost a full trailer with our the other trailer we had. I forgot what brand it was, but with this Joskin we have 58%, so it has increased our capabilities quite a bit. Well, that empties out. Well, we'll turn the tractor off. We'll teleport over here again, and we'll fold up our harvester and put it away. And with that, we will leave it here, and we will continue on doing everything else in the next episode. Well, not everything else, but getting these fields ready, and hopefully with a little bit of luck, we will be able to harvest our new field and compare those figures with our medium field that we have, and we will see who wins. Place your bets down below. Just kidding. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys again soon.